It is another player signing as the Cyclones build toward the 2023-24 season. And again, this is kind of a recurring theme now. It's another player from last season, a guy who was with the team toward the back half of the year and playoffs. Adam Berg, forward out of Brock University, getting set for what will be his first full season as a pro. Bergy, right before this, we announced Stephen McLean signed with the Cyclones. It's going to be technically his rookie year as well. It will be for you as well. You're going to continue to hold that rookie status. I don't know what that means for you for the bus rides. Hopefully you're lucky enough to get a bunk, but either way, you're back with the Cyclones. How are you feeling right now as you've, again, put ink to paper and are coming back to Cincinnati?
I'm thrilled, man. I think last year to come in for a 3 month stint was really good for me. It's nice to go back to a place where there's some familiarity, and I loved every minute in Cincinnati. The organization they treated me with first class. The whole staff in general and my teammates in general, it was just an amazing experience, and I couldn't be more looking forward to getting started.
One of the things I'm going to ask you, and I mentioned it right at the top here, I use the term recurring theme. So I apologize to the fans if it's kind of a regurgitated question. We will not reveal everybody because this signing is being announced here in early August. But I believe, well, I'd have to count them out in my head because I'm not thinking straight. I want to say you're the 6th signing that we've announced, and it's all been guys that played here last year. So there are more coming. We cannot talk about the full litany of this roster, but what we can talk about is you mentioning the familiarity of coming back to Cincinnati. Not only that, Bergy, but I mean, the minor leagues, I know you're still new to it, but it's kind of known for anybody that knows about the game, knows about the ECHL, to come into a locker room year after year and it look very, very different because the turnover rate in this league is very high. And that is just life in the ECHL. That is life in minor league sports. But how exciting is it to see the Cyclones may be an anomaly right now? They may be one of the few teams that you're going to go back into that dressing room and it's going to feel like it's May all over again. And it's basically the same roster. I mean, again, we don't know for sure yet. There will certainly be some different faces, but so far, I think this is really exciting to keep a contingent of what was a team that won the Central Division title.
Yeah, like you said, I think like the nature of this business is that there's always going to be a lot of overturn. And that's just the way this business works. It's it can be cruel, but it can also be very rewarding at times. And last year I thought we had a great group, and it's great to see that there's going to be some of the same faces coming back. And we did have a great team last year. Wasn't the finish we exactly wanted, but I thought we built a lot of good progress. And I know I can speak for myself and a lot of my teammates who I've spoken to, and we're really excited to get things rolling again and try and run it back. So yeah, it will be nice to obviously have a lot of familiarity again. Obviously the roster will look a little bit different from May, but to see a lot of the same faces again will definitely be nice.
Are there guys for you in particular? I mean, you were here for a couple of months. I know we sort of had our group, but are there some guys that kind of strike you immediately? I think to me, and I could be wrong, but I look at some of the players that have been announced before you, Stephen McLean, Lee Lapide, those guys jump out, right? I think that's kind of a part of that group. Obviously, being friends with everybody, we talked about all the returnees, some of the veterans like your Justin Vive, your Louis Caparusso's there. They're always a smiling face. They're always welcoming. But the other thing that people realize or hopefully come to realize from a fan's point of view is that teammates and friends, it's almost parallel. It's almost the same thing. These guys, you learned for them to be, I've heard some players say, these become your brothers, right? These are the people that you spend so much time with. So it's like for guys like that, right? I don't know if there's anybody that immediately jumps out to you, but I mean, it's not just seeing your teammates, right? Like you're coming back to see some of your best buddies.
Yeah, exactly. I think I've mentioned this before, but I think, from the day I walked into that Cincinnati locker room, it's one of the tightest groups I've ever been a part of. So I'm definitely excited to see everyone. I feel like I have a great relationship with all the guys on the team, and I'm excited to get started with everyone. But a couple of guys in general, of course, I'm very excited to see my good buddy Stephen McLean and Lee Lapide. I got pretty close with those guys in particular. Macker's my roommate, so and we are both rookies next year as well. So we're gonna have to figure out who gets the bunk and who gets the floor kind of deal. So I think the games played are actually pretty similar, but I am a year older than him, so I might get him in that department. But we'll see how it goes.
All right, so I hope I don't get brought into this, but I will give you the tail of the tape. First off, you are a year older. On the other side, Macker does have 2 more games played than you. And then the other thing, and again, just telling the secrets. And by the way, to let fans know on like an inside nugget about the Cyclones travel, I don't think people are necessarily wrestling for things for like a trip to Indy. But when you're taking that bus 10 hours south, or east this year to Worcester, Mass, maybe more than 10 hours, I actually think, spots are at a premium on this sleeper bus. And there are sometimes not enough bunks. Pretty much every time there are not enough bunks for everyone. Macker said, and I'm not putting words in his mouth, these are his words, that he is hoping he's at least achieved a level of couch status. I don't know if you're gonna have to say about
that. No, you're right though. It's like when it's a short trip, to Indy, it's pretty relaxed. Like no one really cares where they stay, or everyone just kind of talks and plays cards anyways. But when you go on like a 10-hour bus trip, it turns into war. So like you gotta defend yourself, and you gotta get in there and try and get a good spot. But not actually, everyone's super chill about it. Like it's not a big deal, to be honest. But yeah, definitely a couch spot would be nice. Like even if a bunk isn't an option, a couch would be nice. But I guess you have a coach as well. So I guess there's only one coach between me and Macker if it comes down to it.
Listen, man, there are times where on some of those longer trips, though, I haven't fully surrendered the couch, but I have tried to be a team player and be like, you know what? These guys aren't going to lay down. I'm going to stay up with everybody. So I like to think in some ways that at least counts for half of a good deed.
Yeah, Moss, I'll give you that one. You were very good about that this year, even when it was very late and you were obviously very tired. If the guys wanted to keep playing cards, you just kind of sucked it up and kept playing with us. So I'll give you mad props on that one. That was very, very good of you. And people don't forget those kind of deeds.
Well, we talk about coming back next year, and to shift gears, I do want to talk about the on ice stuff. I feel like the fans want to hear about that. And again, talking with Adam Berg here, Bergy, and you tell me if I'm wrong. You've had 2+ months now to kind of dissect your season. I don't know how much of a live in the past guy you are, so I don't know how much you're reflecting, but I think it's only human nature to at least have looked back, whether it be on we call it instat, and you're looking at some of your previous shifts, or if it's just the muscle memory and thinking back, photographic memory to some of the things. But in my opinion, I do think as the season went on, we started to see a little bit, some signs, some glimmers of the guy that was over a point per game his senior year in college. I felt that way. I thought there was a confidence that was starting to kind of swell in you. And again, collectively, I know it wasn't the point totals from college, but at least just from the broadcast perch, it looked like you were changing almost game after game, and really in the playoffs too, man. I mean, the team was depleted. We know that. And that was talked about on air. Like the Cyclones did not have all the pieces they wanted going into that second round. Heck, even that first round against the Comets. Did you feel your evolution sort of starting to blossom? In some ways, again, my perspective, it was like, man, we get eliminated at the worst time, because for someone like yourself, I think you were starting to scratch that surface a little bit more. Again, right or wrong, did you feel like you were coming along, and maybe that's something you can carry into this coming season?
Yeah, well, I appreciate you saying that, Moss. It means a lot to me. I do tend to agree with you a little bit. I thought as the year went on, there was definitely a bit of a learning curve for me. There's obviously a big jump from the collegiate level to the pros. And for me, I just try to do my best to learn and get better every day. Like you see all the faces in our locker room who have been around and played on a lot of different teams, and I'll have a lot of experience in pro, like like guys like Louis and Viver. And I think just every day watching their habits and stuff like that, I think really helped me. You kind of see what it takes to be successful and have continued success at the next level. So yeah, I think I just did my best to, come in with a good attitude every day and just try and, add layers to my game. And that's obviously a focus for me this summer as well, is just every day just try and find something to get better at. And it's the little things that add up for me. And yeah, I think as the year went on, I felt like my confidence did grow, and as a result of that, I felt like I got more opportunities from the coaching staff, which I appreciated.
You mentioned adding layers to your game. I don't know if you can kind of expand on that a little bit more, but I'm going to ask you to go there, like specifics. What are those layers? If you could be specific, what are a couple of things? I'm not asking for a full breakdown, but just a detail or two that you see that you're looking at and saying, okay, well, come October 2023 here, this is the next layer I want to peel back. This is the next kind of piece that I want to add into my arsenal here in the ECHL.
Yeah, like you said, it's about the details. So, for a player like myself, I believe I can score goals and contribute, but scoring goals isn't really, my game and what I'm known for. So for me to be, an impact player every night, I need to, make sure I'm being all very solid on all three ends of the ice. And that means being responsible with the puck and not making, bad turnovers and stuff like that. So I think when I say layers to my game, I just mean continuing to get better in the defensive zone, continuing to get better in the neutral zone, and decision making and everything like that, and just continuing to learn and just really round out my game.
What do you think coming into your first full year as a pro? Like you look at that schedule down the stretch here, and it was like you're kind of getting I think a reality check, right, of what pro hockey entails, from not just the traveling side, but because of the quantity of games. And by the way, they go hand in hand, right? As a result of more games, you're on the bus more, you're traveling more, there's more hotel stays. Now you're going to go into that 72 game gauntlet day one. And obviously the Cyclones, hoping that they can, have a better year, which means if they have a better year, if we can have a better season, 72 games, it's going to be a lot more than that. Some teams are playing upwards of 90. That are making it to the Kelly Cup finals. So what do you do in the off season? You have a decent length one. The Cyclones were out in mid-May, so you got basically 5 months. What do you do in an off season now to make sure that you can be prepared, so that especially come March, come April, when you're in the 60s in terms of games played, that body is still as fresh as it can be to keep going?
Yeah, obviously, like you said, there's a lot of hockey to be played in the next, you can get that number into, the 90s and 100s. So for me, the preparation starts right now. I started training and doing my off-season training. I want to say probably 5-6 weeks ago. So what I do, I pretty much, I train, I lift weights. I'm with like a hockey specialized trainer. He's actually a NHL strength coach, or a former strength coach, with the Calgary Flames. So I've been working with him for the past couple of years, and he's been great for my development when it comes to strength training, and overall just athleticism and injury prevention is a big one for me as well. He's had me feeling my best, every year at the start of every camp. So he's been a great help for me, and also just skating as much as you can. You don't want to overdo it, but you do want to make sure your legs are there and ready to go come camp time. And also a big thing for me is nutrition. And every professional hockey player will tell you the same thing: the importance of nutrition and putting the right things in your body, and making sure you have all the nutrients you need to fully recover, and also hydrating, and also yoga. I've been doing a little bit of yoga to help my flexibility. I'm not the most flexible guy in the world, but I'm trying to get better at that as well. But the summer's going great. My training's going awesome, and I couldn't be more excited to get started.
All right. Well, I know everybody here, all the fans, excited for the Cyclones to kick their season off October 21st. First face off against the Wheeling Nailers here at Heritage Bank Center. That'll be exciting. The Clones haven't actually started a season on home ice in quite a few years now. I think it's been 5 years. So that'll be an exciting thing for them. Adam Berg, before we let you go, we're talking a little bit about the serious stuff, right? Layers, what you're doing. And obviously it sounds like that's the answer to that is a lot, or could be summed up as a lot, to be ready for this season. On a more fun note. You've got an opportunity to travel a little bit too in the summer here. I know that much, and I don't know if you have any other plans. We're recording this in July. This is going to be airing early August, but let's kind of end it on a high note, an exciting note. This is the time of year where everybody tries to book their travel. What have you done? What are you planning to do away from the game that's kind of getting you a chance to just sort of soak in life? I mean, you're a kid in your mid-20s, so we're all trying to still do that here. What are you trying to do, or what have you done that is giving you that external option away from the game before obviously things get serious and be all systems go come fall time?
Yeah, so I feel like most players will tell you the same, the importance of just, having some time to decompress after every season. And I think that's very important for just your mental health and your mental game. You want to be feeling your best and very refreshed. So for me this summer, I was actually fortunate enough to go to Europe for 2 weeks with my family. We did a 1 week cruise, and then we spent some time at an all-inclusive in Greece, which was absolutely amazing. It was probably the best vacation I've ever been on in my entire life. And it was truly the trip of a lifetime. We saw a bunch of cool cities and saw parts of the world that I've never been to before. So that was nice. Obviously a nice, mental reset for me. And then other than that, I've been doing lots of golf and actually playing lots of pickleball. Two of my favorite, I'd say, off-season hobbies. And other than that, man, I'm from Calgary, so it's the Calgary Stampede. I don't know if you've heard of that, but that just passed actually. So
yeah, Macker
yeah,
told me.
that was
Macker
that was
actually told me to ask you about that, so I wasn't sure if I was supposed to ask or not.
Yeah, no, the Stampede's always a good time. You see so many people, and there's the rodeo and everything like that, a bunch of fun concerts. So it's been a great summer. I've had lots of time to, kind of reset myself, and I've kind of had my fun, and now it's kind of time to, let the real work start. And I'm very excited to, just continue to work on my game this summer, and continue to keep playing golf and pickleball as well, though.
Well, you are, it's like that Dos Equis commercial with like the most interesting man in the world. You are certainly an adventurous one, and it's awesome to see and to hear you having fun, and it'll be even better to see you in person here come October. The fans are going to be looking forward to it and see, as we talk about, that next layer, that next step in your pro career as you get set for that first full rookie season with the Cyclones. And again, folks, just a couple months away, and more player signings are coming up here in the month of August as the Clones continue to build and hope to defend that Central Division regular season title, and obviously from there go on to do bigger and better things in the Kelly Cup playoffs. But before then, we got to start with the puck drop October 21st. And before then, we got to sign some more players. So we'll let our latest signing get going. Adam Berg, appreciate your time as always, buddy, and look forward to seeing you here soon.
Thank you very much, Monster. I appreciate it.